And my voice drones on. The land of second chances. Like I say, yes, well, second chances. Like I said, I would give people second chances and sometimes even third and fourth chances. Like I said, sometimes people would come to me and they would explain the situation. And, well, what they did may have been a bad thing. They may have had reasons to do it. And so sometimes I would give people second and even third chances. And sometimes even fourth chances. You know, if they would... Some people abused my kindness or my whatever. Like I said, but the land of second chances. Like I said, and sometimes I would say to some people, or it would be said to some people, I don't care what you did before, it's what you do from now on. It's what you do in the future that matters, and not what you did, and not what you've done in the past. Maybe you could say, and a lot of people would say, we didn't know, I didn't know. You know, we didn't know. And it's like, well, okay, now you know. And don't do it again. And so... And like I said, surprisingly enough, a lot of people, even mafia, whatever people, or certain people would actually change their ways and actually stop being bad. And actually were actually even good people. Born again, I guess you could say, or something like that. But yeah, giving people second chances and even like allowing them to change their life forever, to just simply, you know, work hard and work for a reason or work towards a cause and basically, you know, move on and leave the past in the past. You know, like I say, I don't really know. I mean, bad things do happen. And while there are people out there that just didn't seem to care or respect or anything like that, and like I said, and that's why some of them got tortured, you see. There were some people who legitimately got tortured to death or whatever. And very painfully and viciously. Some people, I don't know. You know, I'm not exactly sure. Generally, I just allowed them to starve to death or whatever. Or get electrical shock therapy. Not Chinese or Japanese. I did not do that. I did not torture any Chinese or Japanese people. That was not me. Or Germans. I didn't do that to those people. Those were my people being tortured by somebody else. Like I said, well, I was able to give people second chances and just simply lock people up. There were people that didn't feel the same way and felt that their willingness to go the extra step or go a bit further than I was willing to go was meant that they would win in the end or something like that. I don't really know. So there were people that were definitely cruel and definitely vicious, and they thought that they had to be vicious, or I don't know. They thought that was that ensured their winning or whatever. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really understand it myself. Because like I said, I'm 900 trillion years old and was vast as space or something like that. And, or 90 trillion years old, or some great amount of time. I was very, very, very old, basically. And like I said, I created many forms of life throughout the universe. And although they said my life forms were dead, and that my life forms were no longer in existence, well, there's only one little bit of small problem with that. You know, it's like, and for a minute I actually believed that maybe my life forms weren't in existence anymore, and that they were dead until I saw humans. Yay, you live! You lived! And even Irish people, and other people, so. Anyway, like I said, exoskeletons and 1.5s were also my life forms, so. And there are a lot of other ones. And actually, like I say, somebody else was having them kill each other off or do something like that, or trying to use them, and basically we stopped that at some point in time in existence. So, anyway, and I was a part of that. So, yeah. So, anyway. And lots of people would be like, it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. It's true, I'm sorry. Get over it. Anyway, and about all the American government or the U.S. government, or basically what you would consider the government is or has been able to do or done, is basically restricting other planets from actually communicating with Earth and talking to you, or keeping you from talking to other planets or something like that. Like I said, and they'll go to space, and then they'll come back with an armada. Yeah, I had to go kill God's Golden Army or God's White Army or something like that. I think it was God's Golden Army or God's White Army or something like that. It was a White Army or something like that, and it was just Jimmy Carter or someone like that or something stupid like that, where I had to spend like 150, 140 million years what it took or something like that to go and basically find him on all the little asteroids or planets or whatever, and basically stomp him out. And like I said, he wasn't really a person, so yeah, you know. He was just a facsimile of a person, basically, and more like a sex bot or something like that. So, yeah, they traveled in groups of three or something. I don't really know. I don't really care. It's something that I had to do a long time ago, and realistically, I was trying to stop it from ever starting in the first place. And like some other allegations, like the Crystal Cathedral were responsible for creating some spaceships or something like that, or we're going to try to create some spaceships or something like that. And those are the spaceships he was using or something. I don't really know. I don't care. Anyway, yeah, like some point in time, JFK or Nixon or someone basically tried to took over the churches of the Vatican or something like that. I don't really know. I don't really care. It was crazy. It was ridiculous, And like I said, they would never be able to accomplish it within their own lifetime. They would be long dead. But I don't know. Anyway, it didn't really work, and yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, long before Earth was ever created, long before lots of stuff, I was already fairly massive and fairly powerful and fairly everything. So I think, if I remember right. And yeah, so. And I just decided eventually, after whatever, to take a vacation with Brian. So. Anyway, yeah, and like I said, most of the problems I'm pretty sure were basically because someone else was trying to say that they named America, or that they were Lucifer, or that they were something, and they're really nothing. So, anyway, yeah. So, and like I said, I invented the DEFCON system and basically everything about America, or the state of readiness, pretty much, or the state of whatever, you know. So, anyway, that was my best idea because people came to me and said, "What do we do?" Blah blah blah, and I was like, and so we developed the DEFCON system or whatever, which is basically the state of readiness of the country or state of danger for the country, basically. Peacetime, whatever time, blah blah blah, different levels. Where going all the way down to basically imminent. There is a war coming. We are going to be at war. So, or something bad is going to happen, basically, as a warning for the people and everything else. And I don't know. It was designed. We did it. I was a part of it. So, as neighbor of America and basically the person who also had invented cash and dollar bills and all that stuff. So, anyway, yeah, whatever. It's like, yeah. It was just what I did before and stuff like that. You know. So, and then eventually I retired and took a vacation. Same story. It doesn't really change all that much. It's just that it's very involved and very long, and had many different aspects to it. And it's like, well, what do you expect when like I said, if you named a major country or a large country, if you were an epic inventor and named a major country, you would have to do the same things that I did. Anyway, so yeah, and that's why women basically would be, thinking of me. And some women said, well, can we worship you in the bedroom? So I'm not exactly sure what that means. But yeah, some people decided that they wanted to worship me in the bedroom. Oh, Lucifer. So anyway, yeah, I mean, this is the land of the free and also the land of second chances. So, yes, some people were going to worship me in the bedroom or something like that. And I'm not exactly sure what that means exactly, but yeah. Like I say, I mean, hugs and snuggles and anyway. And little bright smiling happy faces. So, oh well, hey, good luck finding someone else that named America. And like I said, if you really want the truth of it, there was a book talking about the Great Southwestern Plains, and they were actually talking about aircraft and also wide open spaces of the Great American Plains and the Great American Wide Open Spaces in America. There's also the stories of the Wild West, or the Great American Wild West, or slang stories and stuff like that. But they called dime novels because they're 10-cent novels, which is I don't know, about half a day's wage, or as inflation increased, they were kind of expensive, but not that expensive, and got cheaper and cheaper as time went on. Because groceries cost about 10 cents too, so it's about the equivalent of $20 or $50 books basically, and they were done pretty good. But quite a few of them were printed, and they slowly, as inflation increased, they would sell off the shelves and stuff like that, which they did. There's lots of other things. It also, like I say, the American seagoing ship, and also the American Airlines and other things. So anyway, whatever. So yeah. And like I say, Nixon and JFK and Jimmy Carter and even Abraham Lincoln were just a small little footnote in the everything existence of the country and me. So anyway, yeah. And Rodney's only real significance, I guess, is because I named a seagoing ship after him. And Rosalie, I also named a ship after her, and a car, basically, that I had manufactured. So anyway, and like I said, I believe it had air conditioning and roll-up windows. Like I said, originally cars didn't have roll-up windows, and then I wanted to have the first air conditioning on a car. And so one of my other nice cars, it was like a Rolls Royce or a Bentley or something like that, some nice car. And I had a car made really nice with air conditioning and everything else like that. And so it was a 19 whatever, or like 18 whatever car with air conditioning and roll-up windows, and was regarded as a really nice car and really well made. So, and sold really well. It sold so well that some people decided to kill everyone in the factory and take it over. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We went to war or something like that. Anyway, I don't know. Free choice, freedom, people's choices. I don't know. Like, personally, I don't know. So you decide you want to be rich. So you get with about 3,000 or 5,000 people, and you go and you kill everyone inside of the Costco building. And then you basically just throw the bodies and bury the bodies out back, and then basically you start your own people, and you start selling things off the shelves, saying, "Why, yes, I'm Zachary, computer sales. Oh, may I be of service?" I mean, that's pretty much what they were doing, or trying to do. Or you try and rob the store for all the computer software that has on the shelves. I said that's pretty much what they called the Yankees back in the old days. They would just go do raids on factories or warehouses to try and steal the stuff. Just like in the Bermuda Triangle, where those civilian submarines that JFK, Jimmy Carter, and Richard Nixon were running, would go and they would steal the stuff from the ships, or steal the ships, and then they would take the crews, and then they would submerge the submarines out from underneath the crews, and they would keep the women inside to rape them, basically, and then they would drown them in and leave them out in the middle of the ocean. And that's how they got those Japanese flags. Yeah. Sometimes the Japanese, or the women, or the men would have the Japanese flags and would beg them, as the last thing that they ever did for them, to take the flag with them. And then they would be drowned in the middle of the ocean, or something like that. So yeah, where's the Japanese that came with that went with that flag? Oh, probably about 3 miles out, or 6 miles out into the middle of the ocean, or 30 miles out in the middle of the ocean. Probably drowned to death, or was never seen again, because, and then, like I said, what they would do is, after they were done raping the women and having sex with the women, what they would do is they would take them up, and they would force them through the top hatch, and then they would throw them off the conning tower into the water, or onto the deck. Like I said, bodies would wash up on shore, and they would have broken legs, or broken ankles. And the scientists realized is that when they threw them off the top of the conning tower, because the submarine was at the surface, they would fall down from the conning tower and hit the deck of the submarine and snap their ankle. And they would throw them off like that. And then they would close the hatch and submerge the submarine. So then the bodies would wash up on shore with the broken ankles. And it's like, how did a drowning victim who washed up on the beach get a broken ankle? Why, yes, our good old American Blue Boys. They were fighting for freedom by drowning Japanese and Chinese people who were just serving aboard merchant or trading ships that would go from Europe to America. Handcuffing people to the bedposts. And like I said, eventually they stopped off at an island or whatever and picked up a venereal disease. 2 of them, actually. And because they would share women or share whatever sex, they eventually all ended up having the venereal diseases and stuff like that. And they didn't go see the doctor. And they were pouring sake on their genitals and stuff, and even fuel on their genitals, trying to kill off whatever it was. And it was known as the John McCain itch or something. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's the story that they were trying to cover up and were willing to kill lots of people for. And they didn't want people to know. So, only just the disgrace of Congress and the Republican, the Democratic Party. And probably the worst, most horrible thing that anyone has ever done in the history of humanity. And the reason why they were calling people spies and blah, 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 this and that, and trying to keep, and also killing reporters. But then again, like I say, JFK would just, he would see a girl on TV or see an actress on a movie or something like that, and he would expect her to go and have sex with him and make him dinner. Her to have sex with him and make him dinner and stuff like that. And also eventually, but I guess since he planned to blow up the whole world or wanted to nuke they planned to nuke Russia or attack Russia. They planned to nuke or attack China. Like I said, when his wife Jackie was supposedly shot, it was supposed to be a failed assassination attempt. Like supposedly, basically, what they're going to play it off as is basically the sniper missed and hit Jackie instead of JFK and killed her and blah 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 blah, and then he was going to attack Russia or attack China, or something like that. I don't really know. That's the story that they were going to try and go with. Anyway, that's why in the end I said it's my fault. I ordered his death because he wouldn't leave my White House. So anyway. Oh well. Like I said, they didn't care about the women that they killed. So, whatever. I don't really know. I don't really care. If I'm wrong, but I'd like someone to come forward and tell me that I'm wrong. But, like I said, there were White Star submarines or white submarines that were at Pearl Harbor. And those were the submarines that got the holes shot in them by the Germans. Because, like I say, the Germans knew where those submarines were. Like I say, those submarines were 150 years old, or 128 years old when they were refurbished and put into the submarine pens at Pearl Harbor. And for years they said there's no submarines there. There's no submarines there. It's like, yes, there are submarines there. There were civilian rental submarines. And there's even a picture of my big, beautiful white fuel tanks right next to my civilian submarine rental. So, anyway, they were classic and old submarines and didn't have any radios or anything really particularly amazingly. They didn't really even have sonar or something like that. They had basic stuff, basically. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that's the story, or that's the way it was. So anyway, of course, most people didn't understand that there was opium plantations in Pearl Harbor and some other stuff. So I don't really know. I don't really care. It's like, whatever, it was a horrible thing for them to do, and basically, I don't know, they planned to take over the government, take over the world, and I don't know, 20-year-old or 15-year-old fantasy, I guess. It didn't exactly work out for him. So, like I said, like I would say to them, say to other people, well, the thing is about Lucifer Starlines is that I'm not, my reality, my power, my everything is not based on faith, is not based on popularity, is not even based on money. It's just simply based on reality. That I was a creator of life forms, and I had exoskeletons and 1.5s and lots of other life forms with me. And they followed my lead because I was their creator. And they knew it. So when certain people or these people did do very bad things, I ordered stuff to happen to them, and it did. And while they thought they could get out of it, or they could do something, or blah, 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 there was no getting out of it. There was no stopping it. So they assumed that eventually they would have enough power to kill me or whatever. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know. A lot of stuff happened, and I was even grabbed and tortured, and they asked me blah, 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 and I said, I don't know where they are. Or something like that. Anyway, I don't know. It was 50 trillion years ago. Like I said, I literally forgot about it and waited 15 trillion years to tell you about it. And I kind of hinted at it to them and hinted at it to other people. And it's like, well, oh well. You know, or something like that. Anyway, and I even probably purposely made sure or asked other people to keep me from remembering until they died. So, as not to spoil it, the surprise for them. Anyway, I don't really know. I don't really care. At some point in time, they probably figured it out or found out about it. 50 trillion years is a long time to keep a secret. So, I don't really know, you know. All I know is that stuff did happen and things did happen and blah, blah, blah. And anyway, I don't, you know, it's like, you know, and, you know, that's why I warned Rodney and I warned my Irish and warned other people of certain things. It's like, do not be those. You know, try to act good and act right and you'll be fine. So, anyway. But, you know, some people did go through things for which you do not want to be that person that goes through that thing. You know, like I said, they tried to say, you'll be damned, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you'll be more than damned. You know, it's a real thing. They're real. It's a reality. You know, I think that's why they wanted to make me a leader of a country or a leader of something. So I would be the one being tortured or something like that by my own whatever. And it's like, probably not because they know me. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, like I said, certain people had done things for which they were going to get caught and bad things were going to happen to them regardless. And then they started thinking and scheming and planning and trying to whatever, something, 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 and there was no way out of it. You know, and it's like, you know, trying to make people think that I'm not, whatever. And other people actually stepped up to the plate, you know, knowing of me as a great and wonderful and loving and caring person, and also did lobby on my behalf saying, no, he would never do such a thing. And it's like, well, I may have, I probably did do. They weren't just anyone. It wasn't just anyone. It was the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst, you know, and just certain people that were a problem. And I negotiated and talked to, and it was a very open and, you know, we had a back and forth kind of thing with other people. So that knew of the situation and were dealing with the situation. And I was being very careful. You know, I didn't want to. It's just like my jail systems. I don't want to lock up innocent people. I only want to lock up guilty people. And even then, after a time, I believe that they possibly, because losing your rights, losing freedom, you know, it affects you. You know, everyone wants to have a good life. Everyone wants to have a family. Everyone wants to have a good whatever. And like I told the people, I was like, everyone can have a good life. There's no reason for suffering. There's no reason for anything. I mean, with the technology that's out there in the universe and in the world, you know, everyone can have a good life. So, and have sex and freedom and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I don't really know. I don't really care. It's like, you know, it was a long time ago, and technically I shouldn't even be talking about it right now. I'm on vacation. I'm retired. It's over. It's already done. It's already been done. There's already been world wars, and basically over pretty much them trying to kill me or trying to do something about me or something, and up to no avail. Anyway, whatever. So, anyway, and like I say, I'm not even sure about the full ramifications of everything either. I mean, a lot of things happened and stuff like that. Anyway, and then it led to a lot of other people going, and even the Republicans or the Democrats trying to reinforce this whole, like, the Great White House or whatever. It's like, do you know who owns the White House? Do you know who built the White House? Do you know whose property the White House is? Do you know who shelled out the dough for having the White House actually renovated and actually cleared the financial expenditures on the White House? Me. Yeah, I was renting it out to a private party or the Republicans or someone. And I didn't really think that they were going to try and pretend to be me or something like that, but apparently I guess they were. Or something. I don't know. I don't care. But anyway, yeah. And then we get into Rodney and Rick Bush's master plan. And lots of other stuff. And it's like, yeah, whatever. It's just epic vacation run. So, yeah. Anyway, talked until I'm blue in the face. But like I said, I mean, like I say, I mean, Rodney and Rodney would scream into my face, "You're not intimidating us, Brian. You're not intimidating." And it's like, well, my name's Lucifer Star, and I'm not trying to intimidate anyone. I'm just trying to explain things and tell you who I was and what happened. And why they try and say that there's no one else in the universe. And all this and that. It's like, there definitely is. Probably on every star there's a colony or at least some sort of life form that's fairly advanced, probably more advanced than you. Many life forms zip around space like except for you for some reason. Maybe because you were bad. Like I said, Earth was caught and found trying to conquer or trying to take over other planets. And trying to torture other life form types. So I don't know whose fault that was, but oh well.